Hey guys, welcome to the video. So I just wanted to make some new updates about the Los Angeles Lakers and my predictions for this offseason. So as we know, some of the free agents that will be present will be Dennis Schroeder, obviously, that I'm sure that you guys love as a player. Next will probably be THT is going to be a restricted free agent, and Alex Caruso, Montrezl Harrell, Andre Drummond, Markieff Morris, Wesley Matthews, Ben McElmore. So basically a big part of our roster is going to be free agents this year, this offseason, and it starts August 2nd. So according to most people, everyone's done with Kyle Kuzma. Me personally, I felt they should have traded him well back when he had more value, but still you can get a decent return for him in my opinion. With Kyle Kuzma, summer packages, if you guys want to go into them as of now, I will be mentioning, is that Kyle Kuzma could be paired up along with other assets such as Dennis Schroeder via sign and trade, but that would trigger a hard cap, which would basically screw over the Lakers' potential salary cap availability. So we'll do it both ways. For example, one of the ways that the Lakers could do is that they go after potentially Buddy Hield, which would include Kyle Kuzma, KCP, and a first-round pick, and that would, well, this year's first-round pick, the 22nd pick. Or if you're doing a deal you want definitely done with the Kings. But if you want to negotiate, you can make that first round pick a second round pick. Try to do something like that, you know? So you probably can get Buddy Hield possibly pretty easily. Shouldn't be too difficult. However, if you guys want to go after a bigger trade asset, for example, my preference would be Malcolm Brogdon. He'd be a perfect starting point guard for the Lakers. Basically guard 1-2, sometimes 3s. He's a great defensive player. He can shoot 3s, great at finishing, playmaking very high, at a high level. Knows how to get teammates involved. He ran offense in the Pacers. He's a great complementary player, meaning he's a borderline all-star in my opinion. He's a very high-level starter in the category, in my opinion, where he could be with the Drew Holiday type thing. And with Malcolm Brogdon, he's potentially capable of being great off the ball and on the ball. And he's very consistent. So those are everything that the Lakers need. He has all of it. He's just a little bit undersized at the shooting guard position, but he's great at the point guard. He's 6'4", I believe, 6'5". So he's a good size. He's got a decent size on him, but not enough to guard 3s in my opinion. Moving on from those for Malcolm Brogdon, outside of him, I know people are seeing Ben Simmons. I like the idea. Buy low, great potential talent, eye upside. With him, LeBron, I think LeBron will convince him to end up shooting or at least attempting jump shots. So, I mean, I think it'll be great. However, I don't see the Sixers doing that for Dennis Schroeder and a bunch of decent role players. Kyle Kuzma, everyone sees him as a role player at this point, at a high-level starter, maybe one day all-star like Paul Millsap kind of was. You never know what he could do, but it's not a Ben Simmons type haul for a big piece of your franchise. You know what I'm trying to say? But one that I really liked the most was that the Lakers should go after Colin Sexton. I love the idea of going after him. He's on the trade block because the Cavs are potentially, I have a feeling they're looking at drafting Jalen Green in this year's upcoming draft. Plays the same position, got more size, better defender, more upside talent-wise in my opinion. He's a 6'5", 6'6" shooting guard, very athletic, dunks, posterizes everyone. He's a great scorer, shoots 3s. His playmaking needs some work, but he's capable of playmaking at a high level. He's basically all around really good player, and his strength is scoring and talent, obviously, which is what the Cavs need. I'm a Cavs fan too, and that's what they need. And I hope for the best for their rebuild so far. So yeah, I think that'd be a good pickup. But from the Lakers' perspective, I think that they should go all in, zero in on Colin Sexton. And the reason that the Cavs would do this is because they can get off of Kevin Love's terrible contract. And this is when the Lakers would be able to get engaged. The Lakers would take on Kevin Love's contract and along with acquiring Colin Sexton via trade. So the Lakers would basically offer up Kyle Kuzma, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, and a first-round pick and maybe 2 seconds. Maybe you add in THT if they really want to ask for more. But for Colin Sexton, a good young player is about 22 years old. The reason the Cavs don't want him is because they want to move up. They feel like they can get better haul from getting, Jalen Green. And they feel that he can be a better piece for them in the future. And they don't feel comfortable paying a 6'1.5" point guard, shooting guard. A point guard likes to play shooting guard, score the ball, and he doesn't like to pass too much. So that's one of the issues they have with Colin Sexton, and he's demanding almost near max money. For the Lakers, I say screw it. You pay him that much money, you get a good, young, talented player, score the ball, carry on with AD when LeBron's out, and then maybe a few years. So, or leaves to play with his son, you never know. So those are some ideas that I gave out there. From the Cavs perspective, you get Kyle Kuzma. Nothing wrong with that. He fills up your power forward position, shores it up, because they don't really have anyone there besides Larry Nance Jr. You can move him to the 4 or 5, come off the bench. But Kuzma, you get more offense. That's what they could use at that position. Then you get KCP, good role player. You could trade him for maybe a pick, raise his value. He'll be a great addition for them. 3-and-D, you can't go wrong. Doesn't need the ball too much. Then you have maybe THT. I don't feel comfortable with the Lakers giving him. I'd rather keep him and rather replace that with picks. And I think and then along with those picks, it's nice to get picks in any sort of way. The 22nd pick in this year's draft. If they ask for more, the 27th pick, and also 2027 pick for the Lakers. So that'd be 2 first-round picks, maybe another couple seconds, 2 seconds first, 1 or 2 seconds. That'd be good. So basically, the Lakers are gonna acquire a bunch of. For the Cavs perspective, you get rid of Kevin Love's $30 million a year. No one wants that. 2 years. He's got 2 years left on his deal, I believe, along with Colin Sexton. You get him on his last year of his contract, so you don't have to pay him his max contract. Lakers case, you get to pair him up with LeBron and AD, consistent, young player who can score the ball, and is athletic, but he's undersized, but he's 6'1". Got a lot of potential, in my opinion. He could be a very good player for many years to come. Along with the Lakers, the reason I would do this is that I would try to keep THT out of this trade along with it, to pair him with Colin Sexton. You get a great defender who's also 2 years younger than Colin Sexton in THT. Great defender, good potential. I don't see him as an all-star personally. I see him as a Drew Holiday type player in the future, but he could be a great player in THT, so I like that duo. You get 2 young players on your team that are high-level players, along with AD and LeBron. That's a bargain right there. You fill up with role players in the Lakers free agency. You can go after Carmelo Anthony, fill up that Kyle Kuzma role that was missing. I love that idea. And consistency you get out of Melo. You get you go after Hassan Whiteside. When Drummond walks, I guarantee you Drummond's gonna walk, no doubt in my mind. He's gonna go after any money that he can get. Then you get Hassan Whiteside, does the same thing as him. He's a big body, probably 270, 280 pounds, 7 foot, great shot blocker. He's not the great mobility, but after what we saw with Marc Gasol, Lakers fans, I don't want to see anything from Marc Gasol anymore. Hassan's better than Marc Gasol. He's faster, in my opinion, and he's a great blocker. He can't stretch the floor very well, but he can hit some free throws, and he's overall good at doing his defensive job. He can catch lobs too. He's not the most athletic, but he can do it. Then you move on to Dwayne Dedmon, which will be a nice pickup for the backcourt. For the center position off the bench, or he could be your 15th man. You never know. He played well with Miami when they re-signed him. I was pushing for the Lakers to do it, in my opinion. I wish they got him, but he didn't. Stretched the floor, great defender at the 5. He was basically good overall. Then when you want to move on to other positions, you can go with Marc Gasol's probably going to retire. That's the truth. Jared Dudley probably get re-signed. However, I don't feel like I need him or they need him. I don't want him. I'd rather have him as an assistant coach role. But if they want to keep him, they can. It's not like you're going to go into the 15th man on the roster type minutes. So I wouldn't mind that too much. Then you probably have to go after another point guard because Dennis Schroeder will be gone. Depending on what they do, I think Dennis Schroeder's got to go. He is a good player. However, I don't see him as a fit with the Lakers. Not because of who he is, but just has fit potential. He's not a great shooter. We saw that firsthand. He's okay on the defensive end. He's a good defender. I'll give him that. I'll give him props. However, he struggles when it comes to shot creating, and that's one of the big problems he had. So I hope the Lakers go to Malcolm Brogdon. If they want to do a sign and trade, there's one thing I was thinking of. I don't know if the Lakers would do it. It would be trading Kyle Kuzma and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and this year's first-round pick to the San Antonio Spurs for DeMar DeRozan. I know Lakers fans are proud of that, but no one's gonna get more consistency for that price in DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is consistent. He can score the ball, make the ball. He started shooting threes this year. Not great efficiency, but he at least made them when they were required on low attempts. So about 1 3-pointer a game, made one every couple games. If you LeBron and them could get him convinced to at least attempt a few more, work on it a bit, that'd be great. And then you could do a sign and trade with Dennis Schroeder, maybe another first or maybe a couple seconds. You get in Kyle Lowry, for example. You bring them back together, duos. LeBron, AD, Kyle Kuzma, DeRozan is a cute story. Get Melo in there too. I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Kyle Lowry's old, but even if I feel like he will decline, it's inevitable. If he signs with the Lakers, he's gonna decline. Meaning, like, the Lakers just have this thing where they get a good role player, and he's gonna decline in some way if they're above the age of 34. So Kyle Lowry, if he does something with the Lakers, expect him 17 and 5 and like 7 to drop down to like about 14 or 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5-6 assists a game, and same amount of minutes. He just shoot 40% from 3 this year. That was great. However, I don't see him, along with AD, LeBron, and DeMar DeRozan, averaging these kind of numbers. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about this roster ideas, and thank you for your time.